Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I hope that you're all having a great Q2. We're very excited to have you with us today to talk about the new CJ shopping feed. Just a couple of quick introductions before we get started today. My name is Austin Pardo, and I help manage the self-service accounts here at CJ. An initiative of mine is managing our webinar series for the advertisers. I really hope you're going to find today's webinar useful and that you'll take a moment at the end to share your thoughts on what you liked and other topics that you'd like to see as webinars in the future. Sarah Howes will be presenting today. Sarah's been in the affiliate industry for over 12 years now, and she's an expert on our new shopping feed. Before I turn it over to her, let's just talk for a moment about the webinar format. Sarah's going to be presenting today for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to have time for your questions. Besides the presenters, all the attendees are going to be muted. So as you have them, you can send your questions to me in the GoToWebinar software, and I'll get them to Sarah for Q&A at the end of the session. If we don't get to your question, or if it's something that's more account specific, we'll get back to you directly after the webinar. As I mentioned, there's going to be a post-webinar survey that should be launched within the GoToWebinar interface. We'd be really grateful for any feedback you have, and it shouldn't take you more than a few minutes to complete. And lastly, we are recording this webinar, and we will let you know how to access it in a follow-up email. So without further ado, here's Sarah.
Thanks, Austin. And to everyone on the line, thank you so much for joining me today. As Austin mentioned, my name is Sarah Howes. I am a Senior Account Manager here at CJ. I work with advertisers providing strategy and recommendations to help grow their programs. As Austin mentioned, I've been in the affiliate industry for 12 years. 7 of those years I've been at CJ working with advertisers. 4 years I was on the publisher side working for a coupon and deal site you might have heard of, Retail Me Not, and I also dabbled on the agency side as well. So I like to consider myself a pretty well-rounded affiliate expert. When I'm not crafting custom strategies for my clients, you can find me chasing around my very active kiddos, including my Boston Terriers, at a baseball game, go Giants, or simply enjoying the great outdoors. Now, to get to the most exciting topic ever, product feeds. I'm actually really pumped to tell you how we have revamped our product feed process and format. So let's get started. In today's webinar, I will go over what product feeds are, why they are important, what's new, and the benefits of the CJ shopping feed format. I will also cover next steps and save some time at the end for questions. A product feed, also known as a product catalog, is a data file that an advertiser transfers to CJ. A product feed provides publishers with a wide array of details including product images, product descriptions, pricing, and discount information. Product feeds are important because publishers can easily find your products and promote them more effectively when all product details are in a clean, consumable file. Product feeds, publishers across all verticals use feeds to find products that fit into developing editorial content, integrating products into their website, finding all retailers for a specific product to promote, and so many other different ways. Feeds help put your products and brand in front of ready-to-buy consumers. Plus, 50% of publishers in the CJ network use a product feed. So what's new? First and foremost, the format. The format for the new CJ shopping feed is the same format as the Google shopping feed. This specific format was developed by Google to power their product search ads as seen here. It is a widely used format that CJ advertisers and publishers are used to and is considered the best in the industry. With the CJ shopping feed, you can simply import your Google shopping feed exactly as it is to your CJ account. If you do not already have a Google shopping feed, you can easily have one built for you, as again, it is the industry standard and most commonly used format. We're happy to recommend a third-party vendor to help you build the file if needed, so please don't hesitate to reach out to your CJ account manager or CJ support about this. CJ has built a new self-service interface for you to register and manage your product feeds and for publishers to easily download and subscribe to them. I'll actually show you the interface in a little bit, so stay tuned. The new feed format will provide better product data and more accurate product level benchmarking, which creates opportunities for future reporting enhancements. With more comprehensive product information in the new feeds interface, publishers will be able to discover your products more easily, make informed decisions on how to better promote your products, and provide you with ideal placement opportunities. Now, I know this is a dry topic, but these enhancements are really exciting and will help grow your program, make submitting and managing feeds much easier on you, and benefit your partnerships immensely. One thing I want to clarify before moving on is that this is not a partnership with Google, and you do not need a Google or Gmail account. We are simply using the same format as the Google Shopping feed. The CJ Shopping feed follows the comprehensive feed specifications used by the Google Shopping feed. We have created a product feed specification document, seen here, which provides a list of product field requirements and brief explanations of each. We will provide you with this document at the end of the webinar so you can share it with your technical team. There are a couple of new fields in the CJ Shopping feed that I would like to call out. GTIN, the Global Trade ID number, is used for your Universal Product Code, or more widely known as UPC. We have received a lot of feedback from publishers that they are most excited about this field. There are a lot of publishers in the network who require UPC, such as price comparison websites, and will not partner with you if you do not provide UPCs. The Google Product Category field will provide network level reporting and benchmarking, which we are pretty excited about, and several custom fields that can be used for product level commissioning. I'll go into that a bit more later. Okay, to my favorite part. We have built a new self-service interface within your CJ Account Manager so you can register and manage your own feeds. You can access this page now by going to the Links drop-down menu and selecting Feeds in your CJ Account Manager. The first time you visit this page, you will need to click on Register Product Feed. You will then go to the setup page to give the product feed a name and add email recipients for notifications. A great new feature we've added here is that you can select registered users who can receive all notifications, including status updates and FTP password reset information. You can also select non-registered users who will only receive email updates about the status of the feed. We have also enhanced our messaging for product feeds, which will provide helpful information for errors in the product feed. You can add an archive URL, which is the page on your website where you want us to send users who click on a link from this feed after it has been archived. You can switch your feeds from live to test mode. And another great feature of the feeds interface is the tooltips, which will help guide you through the process of registering a feed. If you are unsure about a specific field, you can click on this question mark and a tooltip will pop up with more information. I hope you're excited about this as I am. Be sure to log into the account and register your feed, or at least take a look around as soon as we wrap up this webinar. You can use your product feeds to power product level commissioning via product lists, a functionality that lets you offer different commission rates for different types of products. The current feed, the CJ Legacy feed, uses the merchandise type field to populate product lists. The Google Shopping feed format does not have the merchandise type field, so we added 7 fields to the CJ Shopping feed that you can choose from to use for commissioning. 5 custom fields are seen here. We recommend moving your merchandise type values into one of the custom fields and setting that as the field to use for commissioning when you register your feed. Be sure to set up your product list before submitting your feed. We will provide documentation to help you with this after the webinar, and your CJ Account Manager or CJ Support are available for your questions. Once you have a Google Shopping feed registered, the new feeds page will look like this. You will be able to see all the details of your shopping feed, including sub-ID, the name of the file, AID, last import date, transfer method, file formats, and email recipients. Some of the great new features that you get with the new feeds interface are the ability to download a list of publishers using CJ Shopping feeds. This will help keep track of the publishers that have not yet switched over to the new feed format, so you can communicate with them on their plans to make the switch. What I love about this feature is that when you are reaching out to publishers to find out when they will move over to the new feed format, it provides an opportunity to enhance your partnership and get conversations going with publishers you might not be currently in contact with. When reaching out to them about the product feed, ask them what they need from you to better promote your brand. You can ask them what opportunities they have available to promote you, such as email inclusion, website placements, mobile push notifications, blog posts, etc. Additionally, provide them with tips for promoting your brand, as well as top performing products, offers, or links. Really take advantage of this opportunity to optimize your partnerships. Another new feature when you register a feed is that an AID and sub-ID will be automatically created for that feed. You can reset your FTP password within the feed's interface. An important note here is that when you reset your FTP password, it resets for all subscriptions within your CJ account that are set up using FTP. Please keep that in mind if you are using FTP for submitting actions or corrections. You can register additional feeds by clicking Register Feed. And for each feed, you'll be able to click View Performance, which will take you directly to performance reporting for that feed's AID within your CJ Account Manager. On top of all of that, your publishers now have a new interface in CJ as well. They can access it in their CJ Account Manager in the Account dropdown by clicking Subscriptions. This is what their interface will look like. Publishers will be able to download a list of advertisers that are sending the new CJ Shopping feed. They can download a sample CJ Shopping feed file. They can reset their password for FTP. And this is where they will create an export of your product feed. Now for the good stuff, how this benefits you. The new CJ Shopping feed is beneficial to you because it is a straightforward and standardized format that you are most likely already using or can have built for you. The new self-service interface in the Account Manager will allow you to easily register and manage all aspects of your feeds. You can streamline product level commissioning to automatically adjust commission rates for product lists within your CJ program. A comprehensive product feed will attract new product-focused publishers to join your program, enabling opportunities with publishers across all levels and verticals. Sending the new CJ Shopping feed now will provide publishers ample time to switch over to the new format before Q4 so you can capitalize on the holiday shopping season. Plus, validating and standardizing data in your product feed will improve the quality of the category data available in our network for reporting. Better product data will provide CJ with more accurate product level benchmarking and allow for future developments of product-focused tools, reporting, commissioning, and recommendations for growing your program. Your publishers benefit from the new feed format because they can promote your products more effectively when they have all the product details in a clean consumable file. Additionally, the new Subscription Manager tool in the CJ Account Manager allows publishers to receive the most recent product feed from your program directly to their inbox or FTP service. Publishers can also utilize the CJ API to retrieve product data as often as they want to improve information about your products on their website quickly and easily. Robust product level data makes it easier for publishers to search for products that they can promote in their content, as well as integrate products directly into their website, which will create enhanced promotion of your products and drive more conversions. Publishers are ready and able to ingest your product feed today so that they can prepare for and take advantage of the Q4 shopping season. Publishers will benefit from streamlined reporting since it will allow them to better optimize products. With more comprehensive reporting, publishers can make informed decisions on category and product placement opportunities, which will improve partnerships and generate more conversions. The last thing that I would like to cover is next steps and some key dates. Now that you know how, be sure to register your feed in your CJ account today by visiting the New Feeds tab in the Links section of your CJ Account Manager. Be sure to submit your CJ Shopping feed in the Google Feed format as soon as possible and shoot for September at the latest. This will provide your publishers a good amount of time to make the switch before the Q4 shopping season. Send both your CJ Legacy feed and the new CJ Shopping feed until the sunset date in June 2019. It is critical that you continue to send your CJ Legacy feed after transitioning to the Google format so your publishers have time to transition to the new format. We covered a lot today. I will be providing you with this document after the webinar, which has some general information about the topics we covered, as well as links to our online portal that will provide more detailed information and instructions. Again, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. That wraps up the presentation portion. Now I'd like to hand it back over to Austin to open it up for questions.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. A lot of great information in there. Before we get started in the Q&A, I'd like to direct your attention just to the GoToWebinar software. The handouts that Sarah mentioned have just been dropped in there, so you can drag and drop those on your desktop or wherever you'd like to keep them, but they should be in there and visible to you now. And if you have any questions, now's a great time to go ahead and chat those into us, and we will try to get to as many as we can. I already see quite a few coming in. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. The first question here is, can I have two Google feeds for the same CID or the same account?
Great question. Yes, you absolutely can. You just create an additional product feed. When you're in the CJ Account Manager, there's a tab in the upper right corner that says Register Feed. You just click on that and register another feed. And yeah, they just can't have the same feed name or file name. And then the feeds page in your CJ Account Manager will also display a table kind of similar to the subscriptions page today that will show all the different product feeds in your account with all their details.
Great, thanks, Sarah. Another question here, and this is a good one, is can I have the same SKU in multiple feeds?
Same SKU in multiple feeds. Yes, you can actually have the same SKU in multiple feeds. A good example is that if you are submitting the same products in feeds that have different languages or currencies or anything like that.
Great, thanks. We got a couple more in here, so let me just look through and try to combine a few into one question here. We got a couple around the ability to upload the Google feed directly into CJ, or just do people need to make any edits to their existing Google feed in order for us to process it?
Gotcha. Yeah, great question. You do not need to create a new feed. If you already have an existing Google feed, we've built a system to be able to accept the exact same file you are currently sending to Google without having to make any changes. Which is great. And additionally, this means you don't need to include a CJ header in the Google file. Just submit it as is.
Perfect. Another question here is about, is having a feed helpful if you only have one product that you promote and sell?
A feed is helpful if you're selling multiple products. It's best practice. There are many publishers who will work with advertisers who have a feed, but only if you have multiple products.
Great. And a couple questions here around a product list and what are the options for using product lists. I know there are a few custom fields. Maybe just speak to a few of the options for putting in your product list and item level commissioning functionality with the Google feed and how that differs from the current legacy feed in CJ.
Right. Yes, you will definitely be able to pass the same names of your existing product list as values in your feed. It just changes because the Google feed, it doesn't have the merchandise type field as the CJ Legacy feed does, but we created custom fields. There's the Google product category, the product type, and 5 custom fields that you can utilize for this. So when you set up your product feed, you just designate one of the custom fields you'll be sending your product list names in, and that will work. So that's how you change that. And again, we're going to be sending out documentation, or I guess you already did, right? So the document, there's a lot of information about this in the support center, as well as a link in that document. And then of course, please reach out if you have any questions.
Great explanation there, Sarah. Thank you. Another question here is how do I find publishers who are utilizing my feed? So I think you highlighted the functionality for looking at who's accepting your Google feed, but what about a current feed, just to see what publishers in your program are utilizing it?
Are utilizing the current feed and not the Google feed, because there is a new link in the feeds dashboard that you can download a list of publishers that have switched to the Google Feed format. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. And the other thing I would just
Okay.
throw in there is that for your existing feed is really just a link, so you can run a performance by link and see how many publishers are promoting an existing feed. If you want to just see that before you get started switching to Google, just to see kind of your baseline there.
Yes, thank you.
Another good question here is, what if I don't have a feed in the Google Shopping format already?
Yeah, that's a great question. That there are a lot of e-commerce sites out there that will build the feed for you. Like I said, it's an industry standard. It's a very commonly used format, so it's really easy to find someone that can build that for you. We're happy to make recommendations on vendors for that, so please reach out to your CJ account manager or CJ support, and we can help you with that.
Great. Another question around the archive URL. Is there a recommended URL you should put in there? Somebody's asking about if they should put in their homepage for their website. Are there any best practices for that?
Oh, for the archive URL, so if you do archive that feed and you want to know what to put in there so that anyone that clicks on it goes to this page once the feed is archived, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I think best place would be either homepage somewhere that gives your brand, is a good experience still, that gives your brand more exposure and isn't just a dead page. So homepage would work.
Great, and we have a couple questions around kind of delivery methods of the feed and asking about do we use SFTP? I can answer that. Yes, we do use SFTP. And you can look at the documentation if you have questions. If you have questions around any of the other delivery methods, it's all outlined in there.
Yep.
I'm just poking through for any more that we have here. So give me 1 second.
Sure.
We have another question around, is this live for everyone or just for Civic clients?
Oh, it's live for everyone. So you can go into your account now and go to the links page within your CJ account manager and click on feeds. You will have to register a feed to get going, but it's available to everyone.
Great. I see we have a few more questions here. There's some they're a little bit specific to your account, so we're not going to answer those live today, but we will go ahead and look those over and get you an answer after the webinar, just regarding your more account specific question. And I see one more popping in here that we'll get to. This will be our last question about, do we need to create new program terms when using the feed, especially in regard to item-based commissioning?
Right. If you use the new Google product feed to populate your product list, then no, you do not. For the item-based commissioning, it's a little bit different, and you would. So I would definitely recommend checking out the support center and the documentation that we sent out, and that'll walk you right through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. Is that if you're using item-based commissioning, and if you're changing any of your product lists, you might have to push out new program terms. If things are staying exactly the same, you might not. But just take a look through our support center documentation, because there are some corner cases in there that can get a little more complicated. So just be aware of what changes you're making before you switch to the new Google feed for your item-based commissioning. All right, everyone. As I mentioned, the other questions that came in we didn't get to, we'll go ahead and get those answered directly to you after we end the webinar here today. So with that, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope you found it very informative. And please remember to go ahead and take the survey that'll be launching right after we exit the webinar. Thanks, everyone.